Good morning. Today we are going to learn for loop. For loop is the one of the loops in C programming language. We will learn for loop, usage of the for loop, and we'll practice some programs on for loop. In the last session, we discussed the do while loop and we practice some programs on do while loop. As we discussed, the do while loop is a bottom tested loop and its minimum iterations for do while is 1. And we will compare the while loop and do while loop, and we practiced some of the programs on while loop and do while loop. Today we are going to start the for loop. For loop is similar to the while loop and do while loop. The purpose of the for loop is to execute the block of code, set of instructions repeatedly finite time. It is a very convenient and flexible to use the for loop. It is used to execute a loop for fixed number of times. It has two bounds, lower bound and upper bound. One altering statement to reach from one bound to other, else it becomes infinite loop. The general syntax of the for loop is, observe this for loop syntax. For initialization, condition, increment or decrement within the parenthesis and the body of the loop. If you compare the for loop with while loop, in the while loop we observed only after the while keyword, we observed only the condition. Here in for loop, the initialization of the altering variable and the condition and increment or decrement of the altering variable. Whenever you see the for loop statement, immediately you can understand the altering variable. What is the altering variable? And the altering variable initial value, that is the initialization, and the condition of that altering variable. For counting variable, you can also say it is a counting variable of the for loop. In the last part, you will find whether the altering variable incrementing or decrementing. At a glance, you can understand the for loop, the altering variable initialization and the condition, and whether it is incrementing or decrementing. By observing this for loop first statement only, we can understand which variable is using for this altering the for loop and the condition and increment. Whereas in the while loop, the declaration of the altering variable beginning of the C program, immediate after the main function we will declare the variables At that at place only we will declare the variable and initialize that variable. Beside the while keyword, we will write only the condition. The increment or decrement of that altering variable is wrote at the end of the while loop. This initialization is somewhere in the beginning of the program. Condition is beginning of the while loop. Increment or decrement of the altering variable end of the while loop. If a programmer is new to that software or for that program, then he has to scroll the program, beginning of the program and starting of the while loop and end of the while loop. Here we are discussing only the simple programs. The program's length is only 20 lines. At a glance you can see all the parts, beginning of the program, while loop and end of the while loop. 20 lines or 30 lines of programs we are writing as we are learners. But in the software designing, while developing the softwares, the length of the programs are thousands of lines. At that time, it is very difficult to the programmer or software engineer to scroll the code, beginning of the program and while loop and end of the while loop. It will take some time, wastage of the time. Even though we are using the comment section, in that comment sections we will write the about the program. To avoid such type of difficulties, the for loop is very easy. The format of the for loop is in a single line we can understand which variable is are going to use for altering and what is that value in the beginning of the loop, and whether the altering variable value is decrementing or incrementing. We can understand by observing the for loop in the beginning state or the first line of the for loop only. This is very easy to the programmer. That's why the for loop, the first statement is divided into three parts. That is the initialization. We can declare the variable here itself and we can initialize that variable, and we use the condition in the second part. In the third part, whether we are going to increment or decrement as your requirement. The remaining thing is same except the syntax. The remaining thing, the purpose of the for loop, the execution, the concept is same as the while loop. First, it initializes the variable first time only. Then it checks the condition. If that condition is true, it enter into the loop for loop and it executes the body of the loop. After executing the body of the loop first time, it reaches the end of the for loop. Then the control passes to the beginning of the for loop. For the second iteration, it doesn't execute the initialization of the variable. It checks the condition. If it before the checking the condition, it increments or decrements as per your instructions, as per the statement you wrote in the for loop. It increment or decrement the variable. After that, it checks the condition. If the condition is true, it executes the body of the loop second time. After executing the body of the loop, after executing the instructions of the for loop, it passes the control to the beginning of the for loop. For the third time, it increment or decrement the altering variable. After doing that action, it checks the condition. If that condition is true, it enter into the for loop and it executes the body of the loop. Again, control passes to the beginning of the for loop. This process is repeated until the condition is false. Whenever the condition is false, it exits from the for loop and it executes the following instructions of the for loop. This is the concept of the for loop. The difference between the while loop and for loop is the syntax only. In the while loop, we didn't initialize at the time of beginning of the while loop and increment. For the for loop, initialization and increment or decrement added. That is the difference between the for loop and the while loop. Now we'll see the flowchart. Here is the flowchart for the for loop. Initializing the statements first. After entering into the for loop, first it initializes the statement. It evaluates the statement. It checks the condition. If the condition is true, it executes the body of the for loop. It executes the instructions under the for loop. After executing these statements, it increment or decrement the variable. Then the control passes to the again the beginning of the for loop. It checks the condition. If the condition is true, it repeats the process. If the condition is false, it exits from the for loop and executes the following instructions of the for loop of a program. Now we will see a simple program using for loop. This is the simple program to print the numbers from 0 to 10. In this program, we used #include stdio.h main integer variable declaring the I for loop. Here the initialization I is equal to 0. This is the initialization. I less than or equals to 10. It is the incrementing the I less than or equal to 10. It is the condition. This is the condition. This is the increment. These are the misplaced. These comments are misplaced. This is the initialization I equal to 0. This is the increment I plus plus plus. This is the condition I less than or equal to 10. In a single line, we are initializing the variable and checking the condition by using the altering variable and we are incrementing the altering variable to exit from the loop. Within the body of the for loop, we wrote one printf percentage %d backslash n I. It prints the I value and control transfer to the beginning of the loop. The loop is iterated for 11 times. It prints from 0 to 10. This is the first and simple program for using the for loop. Now we'll execute this simple program and we'll check the output on the C++ compiler. Hash include stdio.h main function int I. This is the variable for loop for I equal to 0, I less than or equals to 10, I plus plus printf percentage %d backslash n percentage %d comma I semicolon. This is the simple program to print the numbers from 0 to 10. Now we'll save the program. Save for 1.c. Run, compile the program. Okay, compilation is successful without errors. Now run the program. Yes, program executed. You will see the output on user screen 0 to 10. Here the output is from 0 to 10 because I value is initialized to 0. To print only from 1 to 10, you initialize I value as 1. Now save the program, compile the program, run the program, see the output 1 to 10. This is the output. Now we will see one more program on for loop. Here the block of code in this, the block of code, the instructions written within the for loop in between these curly braces are this printf is executed 10 times. First time it executed, it printed 1, and next time in this case it executed 0. Here we initialized 0. It prints the 11 times. The single printf, by using the for loop, we are executing this single printf 11 times. By using the loops, we are executing the block of statements repeatedly finite times. Here the finite time is 11 times. This is in between the curly braces we wrote the code. Now we will see the one more program to calculate the sum of first n natural numbers. We discussed this program in the while loops only, even though we will see the variation how we'll do the same program by using the while loop and for loop. In the last session, we practiced using the while loop. Now we'll see the same program using the for loop. Program to calculate the sum of first n natural numbers. The natural numbers are begin from 1, 1. These are positive numbers. Here hash include stdio.h main function int num. We are declaring the variables, integer variables num, comma count, comma sum is equal to 0. Initially some value is initialized to 0. We are going to store the sum of the first n natural numbers in some variable. In the C language, the garbage value is taken as its value for the variables. That's why we are initializing to 0. To avoid such type of errors, we are initialized some variable equal to 0. Garbage means the memory is used for some other programs. In previous cases, that same value is assigned to the variables if you declare a variable. To avoid such errors, we are assigning 0. After declaration, printf enter a positive integer. It prints on the screen. By using the scanf, we read the number and store that number in num variable. For count equal to 1, we are using the count variable to repeat the loop, to execute the loop finite times. Here the program purpose is to calculate the sum of first n natural numbers. First n natural numbers, n as input by the user, that number is entered by the user. By using the counting variable, count is started from 1 up to where the loop executed. How many times the loop must be repeated, executes the statements, that is the n times, up to n, the user entered number. That's why in the condition count less than or equals to num, the loop is executed up to the number entered by the user less than or equal to num. The count is starts from 1. The loop is first time the counting variable 1. In the increment or decrement portion, we are incrementing the variable because the natural number starts from 1 and up to n. We have to sum the numbers. In the for loop, sum is equal to sum plus count. This is the shorthand form of the compound assignment operator. Here we wrote sum plus is equal to count. This meaning is sum is equal to sum plus count. It adds the sum with count value. That resultant value is stored in the sum variable. After executing the loop, the control passes to the beginning of the loop. It increments the count variable. It repeats the process until the condition is false. If the user entered 10, it repeats the loop 10 times. For the 11th time, the condition false, it exits from the loop. If the user entered 100, it executes the loop 100 times. and it exits from the loop. After exiting from the loop, it executes the following instructions of the for loop. The followed instruction of the for loop is printf sum. The summation, the resultant value is printed on the screen. This is the program to find the sum of first n natural numbers using the for loop. This is the expected output. Enter a positive integer. If the user entered 10, the sum value is 55. Now we will execute this program. Click on file menu, take new file, type the program. Hash include stdio.h to include the standard header file. Main function, it is the beginning of the C program. Int num comma count comma sum variables, sum is equal to 0. Printf double quotes backslash n enter a number scanf percentage d ampersand num for count is equal to 1. Here we are using the count value as 1 because the natural numbers begins from count. Here the condition count less than or equal to num. The num we don't know, unknown value. It is entered by the user. That's why we are using the num. Count plus plus to increment the count value for altering the loop. Sum is equal to sum plus count semicolon double quotes printf sum is equal to percentage d double quotes sum. This is the program I am using getchar getch for displaying the output purpose. Here we use backslash n. Save the file. Sum dot c. Compile the program. Compilation is successful. 0 errors. Run the program. Okay, enter a number. I entered 5. Sum is equal to 15. Again we will run the program. Enter a number 10. Yes, the expected output is came. This is the program to find out sum of first n natural numbers. Again I will run the program. If I enter 20 numbers, it will add 1 to 20 numbers. The resultant value is this one, 210. Again we will run. I want to add first 100 numbers, 50. This is the answer. By using the for loop, we are calculating the sum of first n natural numbers, n. Close the compiler. Now we will see one more program on for loop, that is program to display cube of the number up to given an integer. If you given a number 5, if you entered a number 5, it displays the cubes of that number up to that number. 1 cube, 2 cube, 3 cube, 4 cube, 5 cube. If you enter 10, it displays the cubes of the numbers up to 10. This is the program we will see. Hash include stdio.h, void main, int I comma ctr, two integer variables declared, printf input, enter a input number of terms, scanf function to read the number and store that in ctr variable. For loop, for I equal to 1, I less than or equal to ctr I plus plus. Within the body of the loop, printf is wrote number is percentage %d and cube of the number is percentage %d. I comma I, the last one is I multiplied I multiply I. This will gives the cube of the number. I value is incremented. Again the second number, it prints the cube of that second number. I value is incremented. This process is repeated. The expected output is, if you entered 5, number 1 number is 1 and cube of the 1 is 1. Number is 2 and cube of the 2 is 8. 3, 27. Cube of the 4, 64. Cube of the 5, 125. This is the expected output. We will see the output on the. You will execute this program in the compiler. New hash include stdio.h. This is the standard input output header file to include the library files to our program. Void main, void is nothing, it returns nothing. Main function is indicating the beginning of the C program. Int I is a variable and ctr is a counting variable. We are using declaring two variables. Printf double quotes backslash n, enter a number. enter a number. By using the scanf function, we will read the data. %d is used to read the integer number. This is the control string. After that, we are writing the address of CTR. This address of CTR means it stores the entered number in CTR integer variable. After storing that number, we are writing the for loop. The for loop, it executes the block of statements repeatedly until the condition is false. The for loop syntax is first initialization. In the first part, the initialization. After initialization, we will put a semicolon. In the second part, we check the condition. We will write the condition. The condition, this is the I less than or equal to CTR. We store the number in the CTR variable. We are checking the condition whether the I value is less than or equal to CTR. In the third part, we are incrementing the I variable. This is the for loop statement. First, in the for loop, we are writing printf. Within the printf only, we are finding the cube of a number. Number is %d, the entered number, and cube of the number is %d colon %d. This is the end of the can say control string. We will write the \n\t beginning of the control string only, comma I comma within the parenthesis I multiplied with I. Here, by writing this expression, we are evaluating the cube of the I. After that, closing this printf, close the for loop. This is the end of the for loop, end of the program. Now save the program, save F2. The program name is cube.c. Now compile the program without errors. The program compilation is completed, success. Run the program, enter a number. If I entered 5 or 4, to see the output, go to the user screen. Number is 1 and the cube of the 1 is 1. Number is 2 and the cube of the 2 is 8. Cube of the 3 is 27. Number is 4 and cube of the 4 is 64. Now we will run the program again. Run, enter a number 9. Now see the output, program executed. Yes, in the previous case we entered number 4. Now we entered number 9. Here the user is giving the input number. Up to that number it is finding the cubes. In the first case we entered 4. Up to 4 it find a cube of the numbers. Second case we entered 9. It is finding cubes up to 9. 1 cube 1, 2 cube 8, 3 27, 4 64, 5 125, 6 216, 7 343, 8 512, 9 cube 729. This is the output. Exit from the compiler. So this is the expected output. This is the summary. Up to now we learn what is a for loop and syntax of the for loop, and we learn flowchart. The flowchart, the for loop is same as the while loop. The difference between the while loop and the for loop is only the first statement. The while loop is pre-tested loop, for loop is also pre-tested loop. We can also say while loop is a top tested loop, for loop is also top tested loop. The purpose of the while loop and the for loop is same. The concept of the for loop and the while loop is same. The while loop exits from when the condition is false, it exits from the while loop. For loop also it exits from the loop if the condition is false. The minimum iterations of the while loop is 0. In case of for loop, the minimum iterations of the loop is 0. The main difference of the while loop and the for loop is only one, the syntax. In the while loop, we write only the condition within the parenthesis, but in the for loop, we will the for loop syntax in the parenthesis, the that is divided into three parts. In the for loop, in the parenthesis, we will write the statements, expressions that are divided into three parts. In the first part, we will write the initialization of the altering variable. In the second part, we will write the condition of the altering variable of the loop. In the third part, we will write the expression, either we can decrement the variable or we can increment the variable. In the first part, we can also declare the variable and we can initialize. Semicolon is separated by the semicolon is used to separate the first part and second part. In the second part, we will use the variable You'll write the condition. By checking that condition, it enter into the loop. If it is true, if it is false, it exit from the loop. In the third part, we use the expression either increment or decrement, depends upon the situation. This is the main difference between the for loop and the while loop. This is one quiz. How many minimum iterations are done in for loop? Zero iterations, B 1 iteration, C infinite. As we discussed, any loop must be finite. If it is finite only, it is useful. If the loop is infinite, we will not come out of the loop. The loop is executed repeatedly. Without coming out of the loop, we can't do anything. The system may be hang or you must shut down the system. The C answer is wrong. Either A or B. As we discussed, the for loop is a pre-tested loop. Pre-tested loop. Top tested loop. Before entering into the loop, it tests the condition. If the condition is false, it exits from the loop. So the answer is zero iteration minimum. If first time only the condition false, it comes out of the loop. It exits from the loop. The answer is 0. Okay, thank you. Tomorrow we will practice some other programs on for loop and we will discuss on the programs how the flow of execution is going in each step. We'll discuss tomorrow. Thank you.